Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means I help you feel better and perform better. Today I'm talking about quite a difficult video to talk about actually, because it's a very serious topic of grief and death and what happens when you lose a loved one or someone that's really close to you, like a friend. Well, the answer isn't easy, right? It takes a lot of time to process grief, and just know that the sadness will fade. Just know that what you're feeling right now is extremely valid, and just know that the loss you feel will always remain, but you'll just be less sensitive to it over time. Right now it hurts, I understand that. It's okay to cry. I wish I could give you a virtual hug right now and just tell you that it's going to be better, that it's going to be okay. Just fulfill their wishes as much as you can. Remember their legacy. Remember all the great moments you had with them. Remember them at their best, not at their worst. And honestly, it's really helpful be able to understand a few mindset tweaks. One mindset tweak is in terms of old age, okay? So let's say that someone passes away because they're very old. Now, symbolically, I believe that when you're wrinkling, you're actually wrinkling yourself away from the body into a soul. And that's the way I like to think about it, as well as understanding that death is a transformation. Second thing. As Ram Dass says, it's like taking off a really tight shoe, okay? So, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred and transformed. So just know that their energy is still there. Some people might believe in the concept of heaven or wherever they are, or maybe in another dimension. We can't know that for sure. What we can know is that we are utilizing the things that they told us, the little genuine nuggets of wisdom they gave us, and live through that philosophy. Sometimes, it might help to get a symbol somewhere, an amulet, a tattoo, a little symbol of appreciation, something that they gave you, and cherish that. That helps. It helps their energy to sort of live on through that object or thing or any symbol that you give it. Our memories are so significant. It's really important to really start to accept what comes up around grief. And I'll say this specifically from coaching men, is that when they experience a lot of grief, it comes up through stoic behavior and a lot of anger. Okay, anger. Because anger is what is socially acceptable for men to feel. Oh, that guy's angry. But even then, too much of that and it's called toxic. So, yeah, guys will show anger, but it might be laced with a lot of emotions underneath that. Your sadness might be showing up as anger. Your pain might be showing up as anger. Your ability to not forgive someone might be showing up as anger. Okay, a lot of these things are just being channeled to the tip of the iceberg, which is anger itself. But there might be so much more underneath it, and I would just genuinely get you to explore that in a little bit more depth, okay? So, it's always not easy to experience this. One of my very close best friends in the world has passed away. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to process. Especially it wasn't easy to process by myself, so it was nice to talk to some friends in that time as well, to get their perspective and how it came out of the blue, and just being able to connect on that level, because it wasn't just me who missed him, it was a lot of people. And I think you guys know who I'm talking about. If you know me, you know who I'm talking about. But the thing that I taught myself is I keep scrolling through our messages and getting nostalgic and super bittersweet about the adventures that we had. A lot of people will show sympathy and gratitude during that time, but it's also almost like, people forget about it a little bit. They forget about it, but, if you're really close with that person, you can't forget them. And just know that, okay? Just know that. Even when my grandparents were gone, right? Only one grandparent is left for me. And that's tough to say actually out loud. My voice is quivering as I'm talking about this topic, as you know, because it's super real, right? And the one thing that I told myself is I would take their legacy, I would take their lessons, I would take everything that they have given me and find a way to make their prophecy, their legacy, what they stood for, their lessons, and have it embodied inside of me and have me live through it as my own philosophy. And I think that's a very powerful way to go about this thing, because once you understand that they are still there and you're helping their legacy move forward, you are the carrier of their legacy forward. So all the things they've told you, all the things that they remind you of, Yes, there were times that I went to different mediums and tried to contact them. Yes, there were times that I couldn't sleep and I was just sitting up all night, just thinking about that. And grief works very differently for different people, okay? Just make sure you differentiate between grief and actual depression or another different thing that you're going through, okay? Because grief supposedly lasts for like 3 months or so, and it's supposed to fizzle away, but I wouldn't really take this thing is so personal to everybody. I wouldn't even look in the DSM too much for this, because it's like everybody has their own way of coping and own way of stress relief, and that might not be the healthiest way, but it's it's so powerful to take the lessons that they left behind. Even celebrities, right, that have left us behind. It's like you wonder, like, how stressful that must be to be a celebrity and have all the eyes on you and all that pressure and baggage and all the burdens that they're carrying, and having all of this kind of internal fragmentation and split from their real selves and who they portray on a screen or what they sing about or whatever. It's like it takes people away from the real, honest, true self. And mental illness at this time is really, really evident because of this kind of isolation that's putting people into deep depression and very deep states of contemplation. And it's quite difficult to do that. It's quite difficult to be super patient. It's like, yeah, we have been patient for a really long time, but how much longer is this going to go on? And I understand that, and I feel that. So, all you can really do is not underestimate yourself and respect yourself, because you need this. You need this during this time. You might second guess yourself and, keep playing the victim who lost that person. Or you can actually use it as fuel. You can use it as your strength to be able to guide you. And just know that they're with you. Right? Their spirit, their soul, whatever you want to call it, is with you. And they're patting you on the back, and they're seeing you whenever you succeed, and you're fully, and you're accomplishing your dreams. Would they want you to feel sorrowful? Would they really want you to feel sorrowful? Or would they want you to be happy and live your life? So, how do you get back into the flow state? You be patient with yourself. This is a recovery stage, a recovery phase process, so you can get back to struggle again. Slowly diverting the mind. After you've done the processing, after you've sat with yourself, after you've reflected, after you've cried, after you've let yourself really, really feel it, it's time to get back into the work, into the effectiveness of what you do best, going back to your passion, putting each foot forward, and keep on going. That's my advice to you right now, because we can dwell there as long as we want. And we're not going to forget. Okay? And it might come up in various ways. And, you might feel like you have to bring it up with everyone that you talk to. So people know that that is your identity. However, you have a life too. And just because they don't have the life and gift of life that you do right now, you've got to live yours to the fullest. And with that, I leave you. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. See you next time.